Hello everybody, we're back again. I am Tim, I work for Golf Cart Garage. I am a member of the Gearheads On Demand section of Golf Cart Garage, where you can schedule an appointment and talk with me about your golf cart related issue. If you're interested in that, click the link in the description. Let's see, we're going to talk about some golf cart stuff today, believe it or not. We've got some regular questions. Most likely interact with some people in the live chat. At least I hope so. Anybody in the live chat, feel free to make a comment. Feel free to tell me where you're at, tell me how the weather is, or ask a golf cart question. Either one. Let's see. The garage is now open, so let's get started here with the questions and see what we get into today. Question number one. Well, I guess I could run the social media links. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, or anywhere else. The links are running right now. If you want to follow us on another platform, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, they're running those links right now. There you go. I'll run them again. Question number one. Went to use my golf cart today, and guess what happened? It would not move. The charger was plugged in the whole time. Lester Summit 2. Can you please remind me of the protocol for getting this thing to work again? Well, a situation like that, what I would do the obvious things first. Okay, the obvious thing. Did someone put the run tow switch into tow? Because a golf cart won't run if it's in tow. So check that first. That would be the first thing I would check. Next thing. Look at your battery cables. You might want to grab your battery cables. Just make sure you don't have an obvious loose battery cable or a corroded battery cable. And after that is when we would start having to get battery readings, just to make sure to eliminate your batteries as being the problem. So that would be the protocol to answer your question. Just in that order would be the way that I would approach it. Ricky Smith, hi from North Carolina. What you say, Ricky? What's going on, man? Let's see. Check over here. No good there. Keith, what's up, Keith on YouTube? Hey Tim from Palmetto, Florida, 83 degrees and sunny. Great show. Well, thank you, Keith. Jealous of your weather you got as always, but thank you. It's actually pretty warm here today, but it's not 83, but it's a little bit. It's all right, 70. I think it's going to be 70 today, but I think we got rain coming, so that's what always happens. Number two. Let me check on Facebook over here. No, we're good. Number two is EZGO Freedom Electric cart drives 2 miles and dies. Full charge on batteries drive maybe 2 miles and batteries are drained. What could it be if not batteries? Batteries are 2 years old. After about a mile driving around the neighborhood, it goes down from 100% to maybe 75, and something smells like it's hot. And the box under the seat, the forward and reverse box, is hot to the touch. Well, it may not be your batteries. I mean, it may be the thing that's getting hot might be causing your issue. If you say the forward and reverse box, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Is your cart? Let me see. What did you say here? EZGO Freedom. Okay, yeah. So that could be mechanical forward and reverse, or it could have a run tow switch. So if you're talking about the mechanical forward and reverse, then that's your problem. That's getting hot, and then it gets hot to the point where it won't even allow current to go through it anymore, and then your car goes dead because it's so hot. Well, anyway, anything hot is not good. Anything hot to the touch like that in a golf cart electrical system is not good. So don't continue to drive it. You need to get that fixed. You're going to have to replace whatever it is getting hot. If your car does have a run tow switch, then you must be talking about the controller that's under the controller box is getting hot. Well, then that's your controller going into thermal shutdown, and it's making you think your batteries are going dead. So either one of those, you're going to have to get that fixed. You're going to have to replace it. 1 John 1, happy Tuesday, Tim. 83 here in South Texas. Oh, cool. 83. What's up, 1 John 1? Glad to have you, man. Let's see. Now on number 3 there. Let's see. 2013 EZGO golf cart with 6 Trojan T-875. It went completely dead over the winter. I checked the batteries and they were bone dry. I put 3 gallons of distilled water in the 6 batteries. 3 gallons, okay, that is pretty dry. I tried plugging in the charger, but the light will not come on. I have an old 12-volt Craftsman charger that has a 2 amp and a 12 amp setting. I also have a Duracell charger that can do 6 or 12. Can I use either of these to charge the batteries? Should I disconnect them and charge them separately? I disconnected a battery and it was only reading around 3.6 volt. All 6 together were only reading 19. Thanks for your input. Okay, you have T-875s, which are 8-volt batteries. All right. And what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to try, if you want to do it with what you have to work with. There is a such thing, by the way. Some of my customers pointed this out to me earlier this year, that you can get an 8-volt charger. You know, they are available. You know, if you wanted to do that, you could. That would be the best way to do it. But considering you have 12-volt chargers, we can do it that way. And you don't really have to disconnect anything in order to do this. You don't have to disconnect your batteries. You can just leave them connected and just charge one at a time with your 12-volt charger, but don't walk away from it. I always stress that. Don't forget it. But, you know, set a timer. And you're only going to do this for a short period of time, like, I don't know, 15 minutes on one, and then come back and check the voltage on that particular one. But like I said, you don't have to disconnect anything to do this. Use your 12-volt charger to charge them up one at a time a little bit and see where you're at now, because 19 is way too low for your charger to come on. So you're going to have to get your total pack voltage up in order for your regular charger to work. One John 1 says, what does a high-speed magnet do and is it safe? High-speed magnet is nothing more than it's a modified speed sensor, like carts with a run tow switch under the seat. They all have a speed sensor on the end of the motor. That speed sensor that's on the end of the motor is really, we're talking about a magnet. The speed sensor is a magnet. And there are some companies that have these speed sensors that they claim is a high speed, has a high speed magnet in it, or they've shaved the magnet, and it allows in electrical theory, it allows the motor to turn more RPMs and get a little bit faster top end speed. Now, I have heard people that have said that they've had good success with it. I have heard people say they couldn't tell any difference at all. So if you wanted to, it's not a very expensive thing. So if you wanted to try it, it shouldn't hurt anything. I've never heard of anybody that has torn their car up by trying that. But take a good GPS reading on your car first. You know, before you try it, a good GPS reading. Get one of those GPS apps on your phone. Take a good flat ground top end speed reading and then do the speed magnet and see if it actually did help. I would be interested to know. I really would. I would like to hear somebody do that experiment right with a GPS reading and come back and let me know if it worked or not. I really would. Okay. That was number 3. Let me check over here. On Facebook, we got Joe Foster. What's up, Joe Foster on Facebook? Good day, Tim. North Carolina, 74 degrees. That's about. I remember. That's right. I thought you were further north than me, but I looked at the map, and you're not too far north of me. We're almost in the same, longitude or latitude there. I thought North Carolina would be a lot further north than I am here, but the bottom end of North Carolina gets pretty far south. Can I upgrade my 2003 PDS with run tow switch to 48 volts from 36 using stock controls? What do you think about the speed plug upgrade on the Curtis controller? All right. Here's the answer to that question. Let's take the speed plug thing first. If you upgrade to 48 volt, the speed plug's out. Don't even worry about that. That speed plug thing is only for 36 volt PDS cars. because when you upgrade to 48, you've got to change the controller. You cannot upgrade to 48 without changing the controller. The controller is one of the devices in the electrical system of a golf cart that is very voltage sensitive. So in order to do a 48 volt upgrade on a PDS, you have to change the controller. And if you want it to be a plug and play upgrade, you're going to have to change the solenoid too, because that solenoid activates off of 36 volts. So you've got to change the controller, you've got to change the solenoid. It will be plug and play. Everything will go back together exactly like you took it apart. Then you change your batteries to the 48 volt battery pack. Everything else can remain you don't have to change the motor unless you start developing some heat issues in the motor. But you should be okay with the motor. I would advise changing the motor just to be safe, just to make sure. But you don't have to change it to just for that particular upgrade. So that would be, oh, and then you got to change your charger. Remember that you've got to have a way of charging your new 48 volt pack, because your stock charger is not going to work. But your ITS is going to be fine. Your motor should be fine. It's just the main components is your batteries, your charger, your controller, and your solenoid, and everything would be good. Got Mark Folsom on Facebook. What's up, Mark Folsom? Great show, buddy. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, man. Very lucky that I get to talk about golf carts all the time. Let's see. Juan John says, cool, I ordered one. I'll do the test and let you know. Good. Do that, Juan John. Come back on here and let me know how it works. Take a good, like I said, take a good GPS reading so we can make sure that we're accurate. All right, we're on number 4. I purchased a steering column cover from a 2019 EZGO. It fits, but I have turn signals. When I attach the turn signal unit, it slides to the bottom as the cover rotates. Any ideas on how to keep the steering column cover from rotating? I see what you're saying. You got one of those covers, and then you've got the steering clamp to that. The only thing, I mean, other than using something like double-sided tape, I mean, you could do that, or you could just cut out the section of the steering column cover where the blinker attach. Just cut that section out, just like a few inches down, and then put the blinkers back on. That's the only thing I can think of, just some type of double-sided tape, or modifying the steering column cover just a little bit, like take a small section out of it. Okay. Number 5. When I try and charge my cart, sometimes it seems like the D plug that goes into the cart from the charger doesn't make a good connection. Okay, for those of you that don't know, the D plug, that's the common plug that EZGO 36 volt cars use. I can plug it into the charger and it will start to charge and then shuts off within seconds. If I wiggle the D plug going into the cart, the charger will restart and may or may not keep charging. I think that I may have a ground bar not touching the pole in the plug itself. Can I bend that out a little to make better contact? I'm looking for any helpful hit. Well, the question about can you bend that out a little? Yes, you can. I've tried that. I know exactly what you're talking about. You can bend one of them or both of them just a little bit to make it have a little bit more pressure in the plug. But keep in mind, you wiggling it, you got to remember there's a delay. So the wiggling might not be doing what you think it is. What I like to do if I'm suspecting that I have a receptacle problem with the D plug in the EZGO, I plug it in and then step back, and don't touch it and just wait, because there's a delay. Normally there's a delay, before it starts charging, and then watch it and see what happens. Okay, after, if it does what you say, it shuts back off, I'll grab the D plug and just hold pressure to one side for a few seconds. Just hold pressure and see if it comes back on. See if it comes back on its own. And then if it doesn't, hold pressure to the other side for just a few seconds, because you got to remember you're dealing with a delay there. And then maybe hold pressure upward, hold pressure downward, and then see if you don't just wiggle it all over the place. You know, you've got to hold it for a few seconds in order to compensate for the delay of the connection, because once it makes connection, it's probably about a, I don't know, 2 or 3 second delay or something like that. 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗲𝗀𝗆 in YouTube. Hi Tim. Can a state of charge meter for lead acid batteries work with lithium batteries too? That would be a negative, 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗲𝗀𝗆. That would be a negative. Lithium batteries have a different, whole different, well, they don't even run on the same voltages. The voltages they're too skewed, because a regular lead acid battery, this is what would happen. If you put a regular lead acid battery state of charge meter on a lithium pack, it would be pegged out, and it would stay pegged out for a long time, because a lithium pack runs at a slightly higher voltage than a lead acid pack. So I'm sure all the lithium manufacturers now at this point, they have their own state of charge meter for their pack. So yeah, you would need one for a lithium pack. Specifically, it would be better if you could get the one from the exact lithium company that the battery is. Let's see. That was number 5, and number 6. I have a 99 EZGO G-19 48 volt card. When I try to charge the batteries, I get an incomplete cycle light on the charger, and it stops charging. The Trojan batteries are only 2 years old. I have replaced the charging receptacle. Do you have any suggestions for me? Well, you're going to have one of two things wrong. I mean, I know what you're talking about. Those Yamaha chargers, they have several lights on them, and the last one is charge complete, and then there's also incomplete charge cycle light on the front of the charger. So you either have one of two things wrong. It's either your circuit board and your charger is messed up, or you've got one battery or something that's holding you back, that's holding your charger back, and it's not allowing it to act normally. Like the chargers are constantly monitoring, even chargers as old as that, are actually monitoring for normal conditions. It knows exactly what's supposed to happen under normal conditions. So something is either telling that charger to go incomplete, or the charger's messed up. So what I would like to do is, I mean, if I was in my golf cart shop, I would probably have another Yamaha sitting there, and I'd want to try that charger on another cart and see if I get the same result, and eliminate that altogether right off the bat. And then I'd go back to my battery. If it worked fine on another cart, then I know it's something to do with my batteries, in the original cart. So then we'd go back and check battery readings. You could have one battery that could cause that issue. You could have one cell in one battery that could cause that issue with that charger, if the charger turns out to be fine. Let's see. Number 7. Was doing maintenance on my golf cart, cleaning cables, checking battery fluids, and checking voltage. 5 of the 6 had 7+ volts. When I placed my meter on it, it read 0. So check fluid, little low, filled with the distilled water, still 0. Put my car battery charger on it for 1 hour, 12 volts, 6 amps, still 0. Would you say that one is bad? Yes, I would. Yeah, it'd be almost impossible to get 0 volt rating on a battery, a golf cart battery, without it being bad. Yeah, it would be almost impossible. So yeah, I would definitely say that one is toast. You should take a picture of that too, because that's very unusual to actually be able to have a battery that has 0. I mean, even 3 or something would probably be bad, but 0 is really bad. Let's see, Charles Ferguson. What's up, Charles Ferguson on YouTube? Hi, Tim. Coming to you from Lake Edenton, Georgia, 71. I live in a golf cart community. I am retired BMW. It takes 40 years to do a lot of golf cart repair. Enjoy your show. Well, thank you, Charles. I appreciate it. So you used to work for BMW. You retired from BMW. The cars or the motorcycles? Just curious. Let's see. While he's doing that, I'm going to start showing some products that we sell. We talk a lot about batteries on these episodes, and we talk a lot about lithium. We talk a lot about chargers. One of our main products that we sell a lot of, or one of our main chargers that we sell a lot of, is the Lepster Summit 2. We still sell the Lepster Summit 2. It's a good charger, but sometimes with supply chain issues and things can happen, we have a backup plan, and we have another one now. We have a compatible charger to the Lepster Summit 2, and I'm going to show it right now. There we are. It's the Reliance SG720. It is just as good. It works the same way as the Lepster Summit 2. It does everything the Lepster Summit 2 does, including the Lepster Summit 2 says it has storage mode, and this charger for your golf cart, you can get whatever plug you need. I'm just showing that on the screen. It has what is called a float mode, but it's not constantly floating. It's not a constant voltage float mode. It will fully charge your cart, and then it will shut off, and it doesn't do anything. But if you leave it alone for 30 days, it's going to come back on, or it's going to come back on sooner than 30 days, depending on the state of charge in your batteries. It's constantly monitoring and watching your state of charge in your batteries, because as we all know, batteries do have a discharge rate just sitting there. They are discharging slightly, very slightly. So it will come back on in 30 days, or when the batteries drop down to about 80% charge, whichever comes first. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there and let everybody know that you can have a Lepster Summit 2 nowadays that you can carry around. And by the way, this only weighs 7.5 pounds, so it's a very, very comparable to the Lepster Summit 2. But it's the Reliance SG720. One difference between the two chargers is that this one, the Lepster Summit 2, is 650 watts. This charger is 720 watts. And what that is going to do is actually going to charge your golf cart a little bit faster, because it's a little bit more powerful. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there, let people see that. I'll probably talk about it some more before we get off of here. Let's see. Charles Ferguson says he's retired from BMW with cars. Okay. Cool. Jen Slinger, what's up, man? Good day, Tim and Swag Brothers. Just checking in on the way to pick up wood for a deck project. Swag and thumbs up, metal style. Yep, I actually am doing a wood project too. I'm building some workbenches. I got to do that after I get off work today. I'll go back out there and finish my benches. Let's see. Mark Folsom on Facebook asked, 2018 Yamaha Drive 2 48 volts. Put in new batteries. After sitting over a year, accidentally arced post to negative post with a ratchet. Ugh. Not good. Not good, Mark. There's so many things that can happen, depending on which car you have. There's different things that can happen, but if you drop a wrench on a golf cart, there's enough power in that battery pack, to weld that wrench to the side of the metal somewhere. I mean, if it hits in the right place, there's enough power to really hurt you. There's enough amperage in there to hurt you. So depending on how bad the arc is, you could have done something as simple as popped a single wire in your wiring harness somewhere, blown a fuse if your electrical system has any fuses, or it could have been as serious as it popped the controller. I have seen all of those happen when someone has had some type of arc, but there's no way to actually predict, where it's going to go. It's kind of like lightning striking. You don't really know where it's going to go, and you don't know how much damage it's going to do. When lightning strikes a line, you know, a transformer or something outside your house, and it takes your phone out. Well, why did it take your phone out, but it didn't take your refrigerator out, you know, or something like that? You don't really know what it could be. But I have seen, like I said, wires pop, cables, even battery cables, you know, can pop. Them, they can even make a popping sound when they pop off and or explode off of the terminal. Uh, to the worst part, like I said, taking out your controller. Let's see, Chris Patterson. What's up, Chris Patterson? Good day from Northwest Georgia. Oh, you get all the good golf cart prices over there. Did I did I tell you that before, Chris, or did we talk about that? Closer you get to Georgia, the cheaper the golf cart prices become, because that's where all the three major manufacturers are made, right there in Georgia. You know, Club Car, EZGO, and Yamaha. So if you ever tried to buy a golf cart, try to get one close to Georgia, or get one as far north as you can. But you're gonna pay more for ones up north. But there's no short supply over there around in Georgia for golf carts. Number 8 on the regular questions. How many amps should the charger be reading when plugged in and attached to the cart? Mine is at 5 and it has been on 18 hours, but the cart voltmeter is still red. I've tested each battery individually and all have readings of 9 plus. It's a 48 volt system with 6 8-volt batteries. Chris says, no sir, but I feel like I got a good deal on mine, or in mine. Yeah, yeah, that's, you get some good prices over there for sure. Let's see. Now back to the question from Ron. 18 hours and it's on 5. Okay, that's that's not unusual what you're describing, except for the 18-hour part. If you're accurate on that, you may have an issue. What I would do, since you've charged it for 18 hours, this is what I'm going to do. I'd go drive the cart, because that's gonna discharge your batteries a little bit. You know, drive it around for a couple of miles or something. Then come back and put it on the charger again and see if the same thing happens. See if it gets into that same place. But make sure that you leave it on long enough. You need to leave it on at least 16 hours. If the charger's getting hot, you might need to put a fan on it. But after 16 hours, the second time, try it one more time. After this time, then you might have an onboard computer issue, you know, that's causing your charger not to shut off. Let me see, did you tell me you had a club car? Let's see, you said you got 6 8-volt system. Okay. I don't know if you have an onboard computer or not, so because I don't know if you have a club car, but anyway, it sounds like it could be. So like I said, drive the cart a little bit, come back and try it again, see if the charger does the same thing. And then we're going to either we're going to talk about onboard computer, or we're going to go back into your batteries and see what's holding that charger back, you know, from shutting off. Let's see. Number 9. I'm new to golf carts. I just bought a beater and I'm trying to make it fun for around town. How do I make it faster? Also, it seems to accelerate great. Beat a club car and an EZGO off the line, but my cart lagged back when the other twos cruised by. Well, the easy things to do, you know, is the obvious things when you're trying to get a little bit more speed out of your cart. Just make sure your tire pressure is aired up good. Don't ride around on a low tire. Low tire will drag a electric cart down pretty quick. So make sure your tire pressure is, you know, set to whatever it says on the sidewall of the tire. It'll tell you what psi the max pressure is on the side of your tire. So make sure that's good. Make sure obviously your batteries are good. That can affect your speed. You know, your batteries could be weak. That can especially affect your speed when starting to climb a hill, or when trying to drag race like you're talking about. Other than that, on the next steps is to spend some money, and you can spend some money on a motor and a bigger controller. Actually, in the correct order would be controller and another motor. Get the controller first if you can't do them both at the same time. Go to 𝗏𝗃𝗲𝗃𝗃.com. Look at our combo kits. We've got motors, solenoids, and controllers all come in one package. And our combo kits, they have a description that will tell you the amount of torque you can expect increase and the amount of speed you can expect, the car to increase. So it's not, you're not just guessing and hoping for the best. They already have estimated readings on what you can expect out of these combo kits for your particular golf cart, whatever that may be. So you might want to look at that. So go to 𝗏𝗃𝗲𝗃𝗃.com to look at that. Oh, and also 𝗏𝗃𝗲𝗃𝗃.com is where you buy that Reliance charger that I showed earlier. And I'll show it again here in a minute. Let's see. Number 10. It's the last scheduled question. Can a solar panel be installed on a 48-volt golf cart? Sure it can. Sure it can. If it's the right solar panel, right voltages. That technology is actually available. There are solar panels for golf carts. I don't think that we have any at Golf Cart Garage, but I have seen some. I was looking for my dealer magazine. That solar panel technology has increased, and is a lot. Just like battery technology has moved forward. Solar panel technology had to stay up with battery technology because solar panels are used to charge the new batteries. So they've constantly improved solar panels just like they have batteries. As far as I know, they haven't advanced far enough to fully charge your golf cart. But they have advanced far enough to where there's for your roof of your golf cart, there's a solar panel that can go on the roof, or you could put one on there that will help extend your range. It's not going to fully charge your dead golf cart, but it will definitely help extend your range. So yeah, the answer is yes. You could put a solar panel on there if you know what you're doing about being an electrician or whatever, or you got the right 48-volt solar panel with a whatever wattage output it may be. It could help you extend your range for sure. Let's see. Check over there. We're good. And we're good over there. I'll run the social media links again while I'm giving this week's tip. I talked about earlier in this episode, I talked about the EZGO D-plug. Now, there's the reason I go back to that because there's a lot of EZGOs out there, a lot of EZGO D-plug cars. That's 36-volt EZGOs. There's a bunch of those out there. So the person was asking about the receptacle. And the tip is what I said earlier. The tip is if your charger doesn't come on when you plug it into your receptacle, grab that D-plug and hold it to one side and wait a few seconds. Hold it to the other side and wait a few seconds and watch your charger. You got to watch your charger the whole time. That is this week's tip. Sometimes you can find if you have a bad connection in that receptacle just by doing that. Golf Cart Garage. Welcome to the chat, Golf Cart Garage. Imagine that. 40 here in Cleveland. We need to come visit Tim. Dave's new video on the Reliance 720 will be live in just a few minutes in case you want to hear some bad Star Wars jokes about it. That's right, I forgot. Dave is going to release a video on that Reliance 720 that I was talking about earlier, immediately after my episode today. Thomas Mack, another great episode. Thanks. Thank you, Thomas Mack. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that comes into the chat and participates. Chris Patterson, 74 and mostly sunny. Okay, Northwest Georgia. Okay, 74 and mostly sunny. Well, that's nice there too then. That is nice. I love nice weather. It's almost motorcycle riding time. Okay, so I did the tip, did the social media. I'll give everybody another look at that charger since Dave mentioned it from Golf Cart Garage. There it is. That's the Reliance SG720. Take a look at that. If you're interested in buying a new charger, you got a couple of choices now from Golf Cart Garage, a couple of good choices from golfcartgarage.com. That Reliance and the Summit 2. We still sell the Summit 2. Hey Tim, good memory. What's up, Kurt? Oh, you mean about giving the tip, Kurt? You didn't have to remind me? Is that what you mean? Let's see. Chris said it, haha, as a matter of fact, I rode my bike to work this morning. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. I like it to be a little over 70 before I ride my motorcycle. You know, I like it to be cold enough for where I can wear a jacket for protection. You know, just in case I go down. I don't want to go down. I'm too old to go down anymore. Yeah, thanks, Kurt. Yep, I'm working on it. Since you had to remind me that a couple of times, I'm trying to do better. Let's see. Let's see. Mark Folson says it popped a wire on the tow run switch on diffuses. I think I have 3. Oh, okay. Yep. Popped a wire on the tow run switch. So yeah, I don't know if I've seen that wire pop, but yeah, that's what I was saying. It could pop. I've seen everything from popping a single wire to fuses to controller. So yeah, you do the inexpensive stuff first, exactly like what you're doing. You know, check the fuses for sure, and then if that's not it, you might have a controller issue. All right, guys, I think that's going to be it for today. Yep. Title of this was Solar Panel. This was episode 98. This Thursday will be episode 99. I will see you guys later. The garage is now closed.